Good afternoon to one and all present out here. My name is Akanksha Kaundal and I'm from class BBA semester 4th. My topic is Success Through Failure and I'm going to discuss revival stories of some companies which include Maggi, Starbucks and McDonald's. So before I start my topic, I would like to express my special thanks and gratitude to my teacher, Mrs. Binu Gupta ma'am, who gave me this golden opportunity to do this wonderful project. And it helps me in doing a lot of research and about so many new things. Now moving toward next slide. Here we have content and here are the topics which we are going to discuss step by step. First one is research methodology, then introduction, then what does failure suggest, afterwards introduction of Maggi, why 2 minutes noodles turn into 2 minute silence, strategies adopted by Maggi, introduction of Starbucks, its failure and then comeback strategy of Starbucks, afterwards introduction of McDonald's and why McDonald's boycotts from India, strategies adopted by McDonald's in India, and then responses shared by people, and then conclusion and last bibliography. Now moving towards next slide, research methodology. The purpose of this study is challenges faced by Maggi, Starbucks and McDonald's in Indian market. The method of data collection is primary and secondary. The sources include articles, company websites, and internet. Primary data is collected through a questionnaire where people have shared their experience and reviews about the products. All the responses are shared at the last slide. Now, let's begin with the introduction. It has been rightly said by Abraham Maslow that you will either step forward into growth and you will step backward into safety. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of success. Usually, parents, teachers, and schooling system have taught us that a failure is something that should be avoided at all cost. The truth, however, is that failure is inevitable and actually failure leads to success. Now, we are going to discuss about failure and the strategies adopted by Maggi and afterwards about Starbucks and McDonald's. And these things teach us that if you face failure many times, do not feel let down and low. Just come up with the new strategies and blast with confidence. Now begin with the introduction of Maggi. The company originates in Switzerland in 1885 when Julius Maggi took over his father's name, aiming to improve the nutritional intake of families. In 1947, Maggi merged with Nestle and Nestle introduced the Maggi brand in India in 1982. In 2005, Maggi brand worth balls 3.7 billion from 1.7 billion in 2003. Maggi was the highest spender in promotion and sales in Indian market in noodles category. The targeting audience are kids, youth and working women. It helps mother with the promise to fast, to cook and good to eat snacks. Now, why 2 minute noodles turn into 2 minute silence? Here are some pictures. Now moving towards next slide. Failure of Maggi. Maggi was banned in India in the year 2015 in between the time period of 5 June to September 1. It was pointed out that the noodles were high in carb and misrepresented taste related issues such as monosodium glutamate. The product was sent back to the store after the court lifted the restriction. 45 lakhs fine was imposed on Nestle India, 15 lakhs on company distributor and 11 lakhs on two retailers for presence of MSG in its instant noodle product, that is Maggi. And Nestle lost more than rupees 500 crore and 77 billion US dollar over the ban, which destroy more than 37,000 tons of Maggi noodles. Now moving towards next slide. Here you can see the bar graph and just look at the bar graph, you can easily find out the downfall in the sales of Nestle company, and this is all because of the controversies related to Maggi. Now moving towards next slide, the promotional strategies adopted by Maggi. Maggi has used advertising as its major promotional strategy to create awareness, and initially it is focused on kids and working women who have less time to prepare food. For advertisement, mainly showed on kids channel with various effective taglines. And Maggi has also used a tagline of Miss You Maggi, and they use strategies over the years and it has attached different free goodies with its products such as fun books, toys, and free samples. And Maggie has also offered scratch and win skills and discount. Now moving towards next slide. Here is an advertisement, and this advertisement shows a mother is narrating a story, and this ad was so simple and reassures consumer that Maggie is safe and always has been. Just have a look.
रात को सोनू जब दबे पांव आकर मैगी बनाता था, मुझे पता होता था माँ के कान से कभी छुपती है कोई आहट, पर उसे करने देती थी। बच्चों को थोड़ा तो स्पेस देना चाहिए। और फिर तसल्ली रहती थी कि भूखे पेट तो नहीं सो रहा है ना। पर जब मैगी पे सवाल उठे तो मुझे लगा क्या कुछ गलत खा के सोने दे रही थी उसे, वो भी इतने सालों से। आज सुना, हर टेस्ट में यही निकला है, सब ठीक है हमारी मैगी में। मैगी ही नहीं, ऐसे लग रहा है मैं भी पास हो गई।
Now, introduction of Starbucks. Starbucks introduced in the year 1971. Starbucks is an American company that is the largest coffee house team in the world. And Starbucks was founded by Jerry Wildwin, Jordan Walker, and Ziv Segal. The three Starbucks founders had go-to things in common, that is, they were all coming from academy and they all loved coffee and tea. On 19 October 2012, Starbucks opened its first store in India. Despite a false start in 2007, in January 2012, Starbucks finally announced 50-50 joint venture with Tata Global Beverages called Tata Starbucks Limited. Now, moving towards next slide. Here are some pictures of Starbucks. Next, failure of Starbucks in India. Starbucks entry into Indian market become controversial when Foreign Investment Board rejected the previous application filed by company's franchisee New Horizon, owned by non-resident Indian VP Sharma and Kishore Biani, in December on grounds that exceed 51% foreign direct investment limit. So they postponed their entry into Indian market. Secondly, the main problem encountered was different cultures since Indian prefer tea to coffee. Other than that, the companies in India is penetrating the coffee retail market and developing superior offering through adaptation. Keywords like coffee, retail adaptation, global strategy, tea, localization, customization. Now, moving towards next slide. Starbucks comeback strategy. In October 2012, Starbucks cooperation with Tata Global Beverage entered into India, starting their first store in Mumbai is as 50-50 joint partner. The world's largest coffee house company got an aspirational position due to its brand, and it got the title as Tata Starbucks. The excellent growth rate across India filled up the Starbucks brand with success. They conduct a survey in which they found the most of the Indians spend around 45 minutes in cafe with their friends and relatives. This embarrassed coffee house with the blast of success. Also, the infrastructure adds on beauty. For example, the Starbucks store located at Connaught Place in New Delhi has art painted on the walls, and the entire store is made up of mats and ropes. Just have a look at the Connaught Place in New Delhi. It's the Starbucks store located at Connaught Place. So just look at this store. It is so beautiful. The whole store is made up of ropes and mats. It inspire and nurture human spirit. Now moving towards next slide. The another example, the store located in Pune has a design infrastructure which localized railings and prospers display the treasure and copper. This was the first hidden secret success behind Starbucks. The other strategy used by Starbucks was premium prices, store infrastructure, and designing proper menus according to customer taste. This strategy has taken the lead and is working in India very well. With this, in 2017, Starbucks celebrated hashtag Starbucks 100 companion at the time when it's completed 5 years in India. This company came to bring on the same taste and excitement from people as it was experiencing 2012. This is the Starbucks store at Koregaon Park, Pune. Now moving towards next slide. Introduction of McDonald's. McDonald's is an American multinational fast food corporation founded in 1940 in United States. McDonald's is the world's largest restaurant chain by revenue, serving over 69 million customers daily in over 100 countries. The first McDonald's restaurant in India opened on October 13, 1996 at Basant Lok, New Delhi. McDonald's philosophy of QSCV. QSCV stands for quality, service, cleanliness, and value. And QSCV is guiding force behind its service to the customer in India. Today, McDonald's has 242 restaurants operating in India, serving over 5 lakhs customers every day, and has completed more than 10 years of unparalleled in country. McDonald's spent more than 5 years on developing the beef-free menu in McDonald's history. Now, McDonald's boycotts threat in India. Why McDonald's was boycott from India? Okay, so the biggest problem McDonald's faced was during the launch of its product in India was the public image, because the international food chain was not matching with the Indian standards. And the environment factor also includes the failure of McDonald's. As India being an Asian country and the Indian population is very diverse, it splits between different communities and religions, and 80% of entire population of India practice Hinduism, which forbids non-vegetarian food. And the majority of Indian population falls into lower and middle class. It was also a challenge for McDonald's to formulate a suitable price strategy for Indians. And the strategies adopted by McDonald's in India, the remarkable success they are riding on, which can be attributes to things: the happy meal for children and full meal value for adults. The another way to win over Indians was offering low price and beat street food. So it introduced its menu starting from rupees 20 back then. McDonald's made it a point to highlight its value for money range in its marketing company, and that's when its iconic tagline, "I'm loving it," was born too. Now moving towards next slide. So this was my questionnaire, and I have shared the link of questionnaire in this slide. So first question which I asked people about their age group and gender, afterwards about questions about Maggi, and then about Starbucks, what are the preferences of customers about Starbucks, and what does people think about McDonald's and why do they prefer McDonald's. So moving towards the answer. So first thing, I got 100 responses where 70% of respondents are in between the age of 19 to 28 years, and 28% of respondents are there in between the age of 10 to 18 years, 1% in between the age of 29 to 30 years, and 1% in between the age of 39 years and above. And 68% of male respondents are there, 32% female respondents are there. Moving to our next slide. So the first question which I've asked people about the Maggi, whether they have tried any given brand of instant noodles during the ban of Maggi. So there are 79% people said that they tried Yippee noodles when Maggi was banned in India, and 8% of people um, tried top ramen, 9% people tried foodles, and 4% people said that they tried nor noodle. And the next question which I've asked them about the change in the taste of Maggi. So 55% of people says that there is no change in the taste of Maggi, although they are providing the different flavors, but the taste is same for them. 15% people says yes, and 30% people are in confusion, and they are not sure whether there is any change or not. Now moving towards next slide. Here I asked about McDonald's, whether people consider that McDonald's is healthy or what is customer preference for it. So 34% of people are there who said no, that McDonald's is not healthy. 26% of people says yes. 38% of people are in confusion, and 2% people are not aware about it. And secondly, why people prefer McDonald's? So most of the people says, means 80% of people prefer McDonald's because it tastes good, and 17% of people says that it is convenient, and 2% people don't eat McDonald's, and 1% says that it is cheap, that's why they give preference to McDonald's. Now moving towards next slide. Here I ask people about Starbucks, whether they are satisfied with the pricing and services of Starbucks, and how often they prefer to go to Starbucks. So the people rarely prefer to go to Starbucks, means once a week and 2-3 times in a week and once a month and never. And if I talk about the satisfaction level with the Starbucks, then people are extremely satisfied with the pricing and services of Starbucks. 58% of people says that they are extremely satisfied, 23% says that moderately satisfied, 10% says that they are extremely dissatisfied, and 9% says they are moderately dissatisfied. Now moving towards next slide. So here is the conclusion. So from the above information, we get to know all about the constraints which are faced by all three companies. And if I talk about Maggi, then they went through the pool of controversies, and at a point of a time they lost all consumers trust, but it's very difficult task to build the same trust again. But they resolve all misunderstandings in between their customer. Also, some degree of misapprehension between the government and Maggie was rectified. Maggie come back after all tests and enjoy the same brand loyalty in the market. Now the whole matter is resolved, and it is considered as better quality product which meets the standards. According to my surveys, customers are satisfied with Maggie, and they didn't find any change in the taste of Maggie, and they are enjoying being a Maggie lover. And apart from that, Starbucks become very successful because of its planning and patience, and they have targeted correct audience, gain the trust of customer, promote the brand with visibility. And in order to attract the customer towards its product, they start targeting youth. The success of Starbucks involved quality improvement in the taste and infrastructure. Moving forward, the McDonald's, it come after a long time from facing constraints including beef ban, lack of poor infrastructure, and storage vegetarian population, political issues, and it becomes the most preferred fast brand, and it surely has won the hearts of Indians. According to primary data, it is clear that it is widely accepted because of its affordable price, quality standards, and adhering to the cultural aspects of nation. So here is the bibliography. Here are the sites from where I have collected my secondary data. Now, thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you very much.